What a catchy song. What a fantastic idea. That is what we ultimately want all of our singers to do is I just get so excited about people succeeding. It's just so fantastic. Kia ora and welcome. My name's Abhishibi and I'm your vocal coach for today because we have the pleasure of taking a look at DARA with Bangaranga, winner of Eurovision. I must admit, I was quite surprised, but this song just keeps going around in my head, and that's exactly why she won. The vocals were on point. We're going to be looking at what is she up to with her vocal technique, how is she creating sounds, and how can you create them? So if you want to learn more about how to sing, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you around here more often. Let's just get straight to DARA. Bangaranga.
To the riot, come alive, surrender to the blinding light.
Oh my goodness me. That is, look, okay, she's a professional singer, so of course she's been practicing this, but starting on a K tends to allow, or a C, tends to allow us to bring out air with that sound. So, come alive. I think she's on the A flat for this, so we wanted to make sure we're pulling back on the air for that first, like that first note. Let's just watch that again.
To the riot, come alive, surrender to the blind.
Oh my goodness me, she's got like, look at that jaw position there. Come alive. There's no additional tension going on there. It's not about having like a relaxed jaw, but it's about making sure that we're not clenching our teeth. We've actually got space for the sound to come out. Funnily enough, the sound needs to come out of an open mouth. Let's just watch that again because I'm loving the sound is just gorgeous.
Surrender to the blinding lights. No one's gonna sleep tonight. Welcome to the riot. Come alive. Surrender to the...
I know it's maybe... Some people might listen to the sound and they'll be thinking that she's like kind of constricting the sound a little bit. There might be a little bit of constriction of the muscles or tension within the muscles inside her throat, but I don't believe that she's actually going, come alive. I think it's just very, very minimal. And it's only really on those first two notes. And then she's welcome to the riot. She's adding it in to the lower notes, which gives us the impression that this constriction is over a longer section of the song.
No one's gonna sleep tonight. Welcome to the riot.
Yeah, no one's gonna sleep tonight. Welcome to the riot. Sometimes when we sprinkle in these effects, it can seem like it makes the listener think that they're all over the place, but they're really not.
No one's gonna sleep tonight. Welcome to the riot. Come alive. Surrender to the blinding lights. No one's gonna sleep tonight. Welcome to the riot. I'm the Bangaranga, Bangaranga, Bangaranga. I'm the Bangaranga, Bangaranga.
It's just, what a catchy song. What a fantastic idea. So you can see where she goes, when she sang sleep tonight, she's got a really distinct sound, and I love this about DARA. When you're listening to the song, when you're hearing her voice, you're like, that is DARA, and that is so important as artists. It's not about twisting our sounds so that we sound really weird or different to ourselves, but that we are allowing our natural, first of all, like what we enjoy about our own voices to come out, and secondly, we're allowing our voices to be our voices, because ultimately, in terms of developing your own sound, it's also about developing your taste in your sound and not trying to just like blanketly sound like every other singer on the market.
No one's gonna sleep tonight. Welcome to the riot. I'm the Bangaranga, Bangaranga, Bangaranga. I'm the Bangaranga, Bangaranga, Bangaranga. I'm
I just think it's so fantastic. She's just such a wonderful mover as well, and has such a fantastic energy on stage. You can't help but look at her. And I love that she said on Saturday in her interview in the final that she said that all she can do is open her heart chakra. And she has no control over whether the audience likes it or not, but she can only go out there and do her best. And that is like what we teach in all singing lessons. Like that is what we ultimately want all of our singers to do, is to have that mindset. We're just going to go back on this. We're not going to talk about the chorus there, but she's sort of got like almost like a little bit of a squeeze going on in the sound. Wow. I cannot express to you how difficult it is when you are moving around to then have to calm your breath and sing, but that is part of professional training. Sometimes that can actually help us to get a thicker vocal fold closure. She's definitely in a lot of this. She's on that A4, so it's definitely within the chest voice register there. We've got a thicker vocal fold, and we've got a little bit of squeezing going on from the AES, the RE epiglottic sphincter. We're just tightening the area above the larynx to create a "I'm alive, welcome to the riot." That's not just created though by the twang. Let's just go back on this so we can hear it again. And we're hearing it there. So we heard though in the semi-final, and like, let's just forget the semi-final because all in all, the sound was like horrific from like Eurovision itself. So everyone was like a little bit out of tune. But what we're hearing here is "Come alive, I ran into your blinded light." And I'm not making fun of Dara. That's just what kind of, that's how it sounds in my voice. So what we've got there is a little bit of tightening above, well, not a little bit, a lot of tightening above the vocal folds, creating that twang. And we've also got tightening at the back of the tongue. Surrender to your guiding light. It's like almost like you got that going on in the sound. And that's what's creating that sort of like tightening, that squeeze in the sound, which is stylistically so appropriate considering that this is basically EDM, right? And that's sort of like, that also those little sounds that she's making in this section. I'm a demon. I'm a rapper. It's like almost reminiscent of rap, Nicki Minaj. It's very contemporary in the sound. You also see the way she goes, welcome to the riot. She adds in more of that there. Again, less is more. When we're peppering this in throughout the song, it ends up having a bigger like impact on our sound than if we just like, welcome to the riot, which would end up being too squeezed. We're wanting to squeeze and add in these effects at the appropriate point. And again, that's a lot more to do with what your emotional intention is within the song. What do you want the sound to be? And then we like heighten that. And that's exactly what Dara's done in this moment. you can also see there is like some of the choice words are also taken over by the backing vocals. We do know that the lead vocalist must be singing live for Eurovision, but now the backing vocals from 2020, that's what we discussed in my interview with Stephen from ESC Insights from 2020, the background vocals are allowed to be tracked. Before 2020, they actually all had to be live, like all vocals had to be live. Very interesting. So we saw that she's left out some of them. That's probably due to breathlessness. We also saw she needed to take an extra breath. When you're on stage, don't try and like go right to the end of the phrase. Obviously, Dara's a professional singer, so she's not doing that, but I see so many singers thinking that they like have to reach the end of the phrase. So we wanting to make sure though that the breath is matching the sound that we're trying to create, and it's exactly what I teach you inside my online singing. It's called the Vocal Academy. I'm going to teach you how you should be breathing. What sort of breath do you need to be taking? Is your breath sabotaging your sound? Are you taking on enough breath? Are you taking on maybe too much breath, which often happens, especially if you've been teaching yourself singing. So if you are looking to improve your breath control, just like Dara is showing in this video, then you can apply for singing lessons down in the description below. I'd love to help you to really harness, breathing is the epitome of singing, so we need to be able to harness the breath control in order to sing better, and that helps us sing in tune as well. Let's just go back on this. I feel like the vocals kind of repeat itself, so there's not too much to kind of stop and talk about in this section. I absolutely, this is songs. I just got chills. Like the song is just such a vibe. So I really feel like this needs to be like vodka or something, or like a mojito. I don't really drink vodka. A mojito. But midday drinking's a little bit not cool when I got to like teach a little bit later. Who would know? No, you would know. I would know. Anyway, so what we've got, let's listen to this bridge section here because she's using a chest voice, thicker vocal fold. You're hearing that at the end. This is just, again, she's just done a whole dance number. She's really holding back the breath at this moment. We can hear the thick vocal folds with that like expulsion of air at the end of the phrase. I absolutely love that. Mine. Lots of thyroid tilt there over top of the chest voice. Thyroid tilt is imperative if you are wanting to sing in a mixed voice like Dara is doing here. Mine. It gives us that complainy sound that we're looking for, because when the thyroid is tilting forward, the thyroid is here where the vocal folds live. When the thyroid is tilting forward, that allows us to stretch the vocal folds, which is what's needed to go higher in the range, but also for us to bring on vibrato. And honestly, it makes the sound more sung. Otherwise, you just be like, mine, which maybe you want in a different style, but not in this one. Can you hear there in that section? We're going to go back on it because maybe your ears weren't listening to it. She let go of a lot of that. And when I say tension, I'm not meaning tension in a bad way. There's so much rhetoric online talking about like, get rid of tension. Honestly, people, we want tension in our singing. We need tension in our singing. Without tension, you'd all be fucking lying on the floor, okay? But we want different degrees of tension according to what sort of sound that we want. She's actually only 2 semitones down, or 2 half steps down. She's actually on the F sharp 4 there, which is the F sharp above middle C. So, buddies to buddies. But what's happened there, the reason why the sound is different is because she's let go of the contraction of the muscles inside the throat.
I'm a red bull, I'm a danger, I'm a mover, but freedom. Let me light you up, let me light you up. Come on, let me pull you so deep. I'ma leave you weak.
And then she got, I'ma leave you weak. So we got, light you up, let me light you up. And that, when we're adding in that sound, it's very, not only does it's like kind of reminiscent a little bit of the kind of Nicki Minaj, I'm not meaning like Nicki Minaj's like the blueprint for life, but it's also this very much, it's very in at the moment. Let's just say that in terms of vocalization. But it's also like that, I don't really give a fuck. Let me light you up. Let me light you up. And it gives that sense of like, I don't really care. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go and do my own thing. It's a lot of the attitude in the singing as well. And we can see that that's also like part of the performance. So we're just going to go back on that again because I felt like there was a little bit of a difference in that sound.
I'm a danger, I'm a mover, but freedom.
I'm a mover, but freedom. She got better. Na, 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 na. That's honestly just because she's just done a full-on dance moment. And what we're doing in these moments of like pause, she's still moving, but it's a moment to really like go and calm the breath before you keep on singing, because tension builds on tension, builds on tension, builds on tension, and by the end of the song you end up having like a closed throat. So it's about releasing the muscles in these moments where it's possible.
Let me light you up, let me light you up. Come on, let me pull you so deep. I'ma leave you weak. I'm the Bangaranga. I'm the Bangaranga. I'm the Bangaranga.
Oh, I just get so excited about people succeeding. It's just so fantastic. Oh my goodness me. Wow, wow, wow. I absolutely love her energy. I love her confidence. And honestly, we're seeing so much more of this within women's sport this year. We're seeing this in women's creating music. Like, I just want to celebrate that there have been some really kick-ass moments out there showing us how confidence in ourselves is really what matters. And that's what I ultimately want to give you. I want you to be able to stand on stage and go like, fuck yeah, I love this. Don't give a shit about what anyone else thinks, but I really love this. And the reason why we don't give a shit what anyone else thinks is because we know that it's good. I want you to know that your singing's good. I want you to know that what you're practicing is going to get you in the right direction. I want you to know that you are creating the sound that you want to create and what you ultimately like. That is my wish for you. So if you are looking for a singing teacher who is genuinely excited for you to succeed and is not interested in giving you, just like downloading my voice onto yours, I want you to find your true voice. Then I would love to have a chat with you about your vocal goals so that we can find out what your next steps are going to be for your singing progress. You can sign up for one in the description below. Wow, anyone can learn to sing. That just set me up for the day. I should really play this blinding light. That's going to be like my get me some energy, get me some power, give me some confidence, please, DARA, and have a little bit of a jam. Let me know down in the comments what your give me energy, give me power, give me confidence song is. I would love to take a look at it on the channel. Check out some more Eurovision up here, and just remember, you're amazing. Singing's really hard, and this has taken a lot of practice for DARA to get where she is, but that doesn't mean to say that you can't get there as well. I would love to help you to do that. Have an awesome rest today. Happy singing. Kaki down.